Photoshop, Project 4, City Promotion Cards, Stage 1, Creating New Files. If you remember from our last lesson, we had made some changes to our color settings, so we are going to go back into Edit, Color Settings, and make some further changes. We want to make sure that the proper monitor working space is selected. So make sure that you have either the proper setting for your monitor or select the Adobe RGB 1998. In color management policies, all three settings should have Preserve Embedded Profiles selected. Make sure that the three items below are checkmarked. We do want to have profile mismatches alert on us, and then select OK. The new file we're going to create is going to be named Festival. If your new document dialog box looks different than mine, it is because I have already downloaded the upgrade to Photoshop 2017. Yours may look different than mine if you have not upgraded yet. For the size of the document, select inches, and our width is going to be 7 1/4, and our height is going to be 5 1/4. The numbers that show up in your height and width and resolution fields are going to be carried over from the last item that you had open or from the last item that you put into your clipboard. Change your resolution to 300 and make sure you are working in pixels per inch. The color mode is going to be in RGB, and 8-bit is fine. In your background contents, we want the transparent background, and the color profile should be set to working RGB. And then create your new document. Save this into your cards file as a Photoshop document. When you create a new file, the background of the canvas depends on the selection that you made in the new dialog box. We do not have a background layer because we chose to have a transparent background. We only have a blank layer 1. Make sure that your rulers are visible, and we need to place ruler guides 1/8 of an inch from each edge. The size that we specified for our file includes 1/8 inch bleed all the way around. Back in lesson 1, we placed guides, and you can use whichever method you would prefer. I'm going to go to View, New Guide Layout, make sure that columns and rows are deselected, and place 1/8 inch bleeds as a margin all the way around. Make sure to save your image. At the bottom of the Tools panel, select the default foreground and background colors and switch them so that the white is the foreground color. We're going to flatten our layers, and you can do that in here. Or you could go to Layer and select Flatten. When you flatten an image, all the layers in the file are flattened into a locked background layer. This file only had the one layer. The new background layer is simply now a solid white fill. You need to note that the defined background color is not applied as the color of the resulting background layer. We're going to go to Edit, Fill, and select Background Color as the fill. Our background color is the black. So with background layer selected and we fill this, now we will get a black background. We're going to save this file as Boulevard, abbreviated BLVD, and save. To see how Photoshop controls images with mismatched color profiles, we're going to open Lights. We get the missing profile. The document does not have any embedded RGB profile in it. We are going to select to leave this as it is and say OK. You're going to copy this, select all, edit copy, close the file, and paste it onto Boulevard. The file's background layer was selected, so the pasted contents were added as a new layer immediately above that background layer. You can't paste contents onto a layer that is locked, and background layers are always locked. Rename layer 1 as lights, and then save. You can do a Control S. Now open the festival file that we just created. Open the Bloom JPEG. It has a profile that's different, and Photoshop wants to know what you would like to do. We can use the embedded profile. Select all of this, Control A, Control C to copy, close the file, and paste it into Festival. When you try to, you will receive the same warning dialog box. Do we want to convert or not? Choose to convert and say OK. The pasted image this time is placed directly into layer 1. Layer 1 was blank, had no content. It is not a locked background layer. So this time our image went directly into the layer. We're going to rename this layer as Bloom and save this. Control S will work just fine.